Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and over the next 2 days, I will be rebooking the entire history of the Money in the Bank briefcase. Who originally won the match, who should have won, and when the new winner would have cashed in. And yeah, a lot of research went into this video because I had to go back and look at the championship pictures during certain time periods where I did change the winner. And yeah, there's a lot of missed opportunities here with this briefcase. And this woman right here, Rhea Ripley, has a chance to win her first Money in the Bank contract this Saturday at Money in the Bank, in which I will be live streaming right here on the channel at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Saturday night. We'll find out who will be Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. John Cena teams with Logan Paul against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, and Lyra Valkyria will put her Intercontinental Championship on the line against Becky Lynch. So make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button and join me for the live stream of Money in the Bank. And hey, go ahead and stay after Money in the Bank, as I do produce weekly wrestling content right here on this channel. So, the inaugural Women's Money in the Bank match took place in 2017, so it's a lot shorter video. The Men's Money in the Bank rebooking will come out on Friday, maybe Saturday, because I'm still doing some research in regards to that rebooking series. 2017 Women's Money in the Bank, the inaugural one. Let's take a look who was in the match. You had Carmella, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, and Tamina. And Carmella was the original winner, and I debated taking this from her because of the whole situation with James Ellsworth, but I decided to keep it on Carmella. Carmella stays the original winner, and I just want to do the James Ellsworth stuff. Like, this was like typical late 2010s Vince McMahon booking. Then we get to 2018, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Ember Moon, Lana, Naomi, Natalya, and Sasha Banks. Alexa Bliss was your original winner. And this is where I make my first change. So the second women's Money in the Bank match, I'm already making a change. This is going to change from Alexa to Becky Lynch. And the reason for that is because this would play more into her becoming the man later on, and eventually her rise to the top at WrestleMania 35. I would have Becky cash in at SummerSlam instead of her being in a match in that triple threat match at SummerSlam that year. She would cash in, but she would lose her cash in. So we still get everything we got with her taking Charlotte out and her becoming the man in the triple threat match at WrestleMania. And then in 2019, we had Bayley, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Ember Moon, Mandy Rose, Naomi, Natalya, and Nikki Cross competing for the third ever Women's Money in the Bank. And the winner was Bayley. Again, not going to change anything here. This played perfectly into her heel turn, so nothing changes there. 2020 Women's Money in the Bank. This was unique. I actually plan on going back and watching this because the 2020, it was COVID and we had no fans. So the WWE put the Money in the Bank briefcases atop the headquarters of WWE, and the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches took place at the same time. And I really enjoyed this. And that's why I was like, man, I wonder they'll do it again in 2021. But of course, they brought fans back. But man, I would have loved another Money in the Bank match at the WWE headquarters. The winner of this match here was Asuka for the women's, and we would later find out that this was actually for the Raw Women's Championship because Becky Lynch would actually announce her pregnancy, and so essentially Asuka became the Raw Women's Champion. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything here either. 2021, you had Nikki A.S.H as the Money in the Bank winner, and how we got to that conclusion, I don't know. Again, this was late Vince McMahon booking. That's what I pretty much blame it on. You had Nikki A.S.H, Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Natalya, and Tamina. To me, I'm changing this to where we get a little bit more history between Naomi and Bianca before this year. Because at SummerSlam 2021, we had Sasha Banks versus Bianca, the rematch from WrestleMania. And it was advertised, and I was there SummerSlam 2021. It was the first time, Legion Stadium, and I was hearing rumblings from the fans around me that when we were waiting to get into the stadium, that Sasha was not going to be there. And I was like, that's weird. They're still advertising her for it. We get to that match, and Carmella comes out to booze. That, of course, led to Becky Lynch's return. Becky Lynch beating Bianca in 26 seconds. But, and I know I'm taking away Becky Lynch's return, the 26-second Becky Bianca feud, but I'm replacing it with a Naomi Bianca feud with Naomi winning the briefcase in 2021, and she turns heel and joins the bloodline. Imagine current heel persona Naomi with the caution tape and everything in the bloodline in 2021. Simple as that, right? 2022, 2023, 2024 women's Money in the Bank. I'm just going to come out and say it. Honestly, I didn't change a winner here. Liv Morgan was perfect in 2022. 2023, Io Sky, perfect. I was there SummerSlam 2023 when she cashed in. That was my first ever cash in that I've ever seen live. And then 2024 was Tiffany Stratton. I know some people are going to say it should have been Chelsea Green. But, again, I'm not changing. I think Tiffany Stratton was the perfect winner in this scenario. And the only thing I would change is Tiffany cashing in either at WrestleMania this year or after WrestleMania where Charlotte beats Nia. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that whole Tiffany Charlotte feud, I think, I talked about this before. I was like, I think it would have been better off with Charlotte and Nia Jax being the match at Mania with Tiffany Stratton looming in the background with that briefcase and cashing in either at Mania or after WrestleMania. So yeah, the women's Money in the Bank history is not as long as the men's, which is why I did this video first. But let me know in the comments below, how would you have changed the women's Money in the Bank history? You like my picks? Do you think they were the right ones? Did WWE get it right? Let me know in the comments below. And as I said, tomorrow on this channel, 20 plus years of men's Money in the Bank rebooking coming on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, that I had to do a lot of research for that. And boy, oh boy, the missed opportunities were insane. So you definitely do not want to miss that and miss who I would have gave the Money in the Bank briefcases to and how they cashed in, because I tried not to change the timeline too much in terms of what we originally got. So I'll just say this. One of my rebookings changes like an entire year's worth of booking. So you don't want to miss it. I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.